in the early stages of Agile transformation, what would happen is that they would go find a greenfield project or something that was really small and self-contained. They would run Agile on it, and they get a scrum master and a product owner and build backlogs and do daily stand-ups, and maybe depending on the team, they're using XP practices, test-driven development, CI/CD, stuff like that. And they would have a tremendous amount of success. What we started to realize is, in the way we told the story, was that you would use Scrum and XP in that experiment, and then you come back to the real organization, you think it was Scrum or XP that was actually what solved the problem. When what really solved the problem was complete cross-functional teams that had ownership of the code, and you had really clear backlogs, value props that were aligned to the business, you could get fast feedback, right? All those things. And the conditions in the base organization didn't support that. So what we would do is we put them on this journey to basically say, okay, we're going to stabilize your teams, we're going to put your governance models in place, we're going to work with your leaders to start to reduce batch size, start to optimize your deployment pipelines, make sure that we're able to release software in the market and have it be tested. And then the reason why we ended up building a studio a couple years ago is because the technology impediments were like the thing that we could never overcome. Okay, and so that's when we built Leading Agile Studios, and we started doing the technology extraction and modernization work. So what I'm really hearing you saying, it's the same fundamental story at the end of the day. You have this kind of jacked up organization, it's misaligned, the technology architectures aren't great, the data's all over the place, people are protective of the data that they own, nobody wants to share, there's a messed up culture. And you go and you run this AI experiment, and it's great, and you bring it back into the mess that is the organization, and you can't do the same things. But now we add into that is that it really requires alignment between data, technology objects, teaming strategies, being able to connect that up to the business, so that as you start to introduce these AI value props, you can actually validate that it's actually solving the problem on a platform, for lack of a better word, that you can trust and verify. Because at the end of the day, that it's the same fundamental problem. I can sandbox anything if I create the ideal conditions for it. But then when I bring it back into the jacked up technology stack, enterprise, organization, misaligned priorities, all that stuff, that chaos is not easily solved by throwing your data into an LLM and seeing what you get out of it.